Hey, it's Deanna and Justin.
I like how it's like I don't have to consistently go to work, so now I have long hair and like don't shave as often. This is my life.
I live in pajamas until I actually have to leave my apartment. So we're
To
both
be
winning.
to be fair, like most people don't dress up in radio, and then but every time I wear shorts, Shannon from XTU shames me. She's like, "No shorts at work," and I was like,
What?
"You know who wears shorts all the time? Preston and Steve. And you know where they are? The Hall of Fame."
Why aren't you allowed to wear shorts?
No, it's like she just does it as a thing, but then I think about it every time I'm going in, so I wear pants. But I turn the AC in the studio down to like 50, which
Yeah.
whatever they yell at us, I don't really care.
Well, I mean, it's
Yeah,
summertime. Does she not like shorts? Is she not like a shorts person?
like I don't want to see my see-through legs, so I kind of get it. Like I get it, but then when I have like a tan, I want to wear shorts. You know what I mean?
Huh.
I don't
I
know. It's
just saw
a thing.
something recently about a dress code being implemented because people were wearing shorts. Well, specifically, women were wearing shorts that were too short. So people thought they were inappropriately short.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would be able to survive if I couldn't wear shorts to work, especially in the dead heat of the summer. I'm always sweating.
Like I've said before, I would much rather have like a uniform. Murph, you can't go outside. They're cutting the lawn. This is she like wants to play with the lawn people. Like she's jumping up at the door.
Yeah.
I'd much rather like if I could. I mean, I'm not. Last time I bought like shorts from Dick's, I bought four of the same pair. So like that's kind of uniformy, like four black shorts.
So it's your uniform.
Yeah, I mean most of the time, yeah. And then I just wash them like once a week, and then But I have different shirts. But like people who have hospital provided scrubs, like that's legit. You know what I mean?
That's their uniform. Yeah.
If you
I
hear
mean,
the sound, it's Murph beating up her food now. So this is my life because she just can't sit still.
um, I did. Oh God, I had such an awkward encounter this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob came out to Nashville. We were looking for houses, and there was an open house or two that we wanted to hit. We had kind of like run the realtor all over town on Friday. We decided to just hit a couple open houses on our own. And so I make a list of these places that he mentioned have open houses on Saturday. So we pull up to the one place and no one's there, but the open house just started like 15 minutes before that. So I'm like, okay, maybe we're the first ones here. So I go knock on the door. Gentleman opens the door.
Oh no!
He just kind of looks at us, and I step inside. And he
Okay,
just
wait. Is there
looks
no
at
invitation to go in?
He just no, but that's what we did at the last house.
Okay.
The realtor opened the door, we walked in, and then they introduced themselves, and then whatever. So this guy opens the door, I walk in, and he's just looking at us like confused. And I said, "We're here for the open house," and he said, "That's tomorrow. I'm the owner."
That's incredible. But now you have the inn, right?
So, I mean, I felt so bad. I was honestly mortified. I was like, oh my God, I kept apologizing. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. We can come back tomorrow. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He goes, no, please, by all means. He's like, the house is ready. He's like, just take a look around.
See, like now you're guilty because number one, I in my mind, open houses are pointless now because the house just sells as soon as it goes to market, right? But like, you know how people were writing letters for houses, which I also think is insane because just take the highest offer. You bought the home is an investment. Take the highest money. But now that you have an in, so like if you do put an offer in, the note can say, remember when I walked into your house on the wrong day. And that's how you should do it. Screw like writing letters and like a narrative about how you can see your kids growing up outside.
I know.
Like, wow. They're 70 years old. They want to make money.
That's so funny. Like we did that in our first house. We wrote a letter, but they don't recommend that anymore.
Because it was stupid. It was I can't stress this enough. When you buy a house, you want to make money on the house, right?
Yeah.
If there's a 2-page letter, you're not making money. That's exactly what's going to happen. I think you crack the code, go the day before and intrude on their privacy.
We figured it out. I got to tell you, I felt terrible and I still feel terrible. And this happened on Saturday morning.
But here's the thing, though. The guy feels good because there's interest in the house, though, that you like showed up early.
That's true.
So I think you did a service to yourself. Now, was the house crappy?
No, it was a nice house. It's just not what we would.
Okay, so what I'm saying is now, if you do like a house, go the day before.
Go the day before.
But also like bring something too.
Here's my real estate advice. Go to an open house the day before. Actually.
And bring something. You could be like, oh, I brought this for our realtor because she's been really nice. Even though if like they don't really care about the realtor, but it's a fit. You're lying. You lie to get the house.
Like, here's a box of cookies I bought for our realtor. But here they are for you now that I walked into your house a day early.
And they'll be stale tomorrow. This is the code. Like, screw.
We found the cheat code.
Yeah, the letters were always stupid. And now just go break into somebody's house. And that is how you win the bids.
It's the negotiation cheat code.
Break into B&E. for B&E, your forever home. I also hate, they're like, this is our forever home. I'm like, well, Deanna moved. Like, it's technically not forever. You know what I mean? Like when people put forever wedding date and they break up, I get so much satisfaction. This is the most cynical thing that I maybe do. Like, they'll post like 70 pictures at a wedding. They've been dating for 5 months, let's say, less than a year. And they'll post like, oh, this is my forever wedding date. And then the next year they have another forever wedding date. And I'm like, you lied on social media. So why? Stop posting it. It's clearly not working out for you. My forever. You know
what's so funny? Speaking of lying on social media, I was going back through old posts and realized I legitimately lied on social media because when we got back to Pennsylvania, not back to Pennsylvania because we never lived there before, but when we got back home, moved to Pennsylvania, we were so excited to be home and be near our family that we wanted to obviously spend more time with our family. And we got this wild hair that we were going to start these old traditions that had not taken place in a while. And one of them you'll remember probably was making wine with my dad.
Yes.
Because my dad, his uncle used to make wine. So I was like, this would be so cool to reinstill this tradition of making our own wine every year. And so we had the whole process and the barrel in the basement, and we have all these photos, and I posted the photos and I read the caption and it said, this is going to be our new tradition. We're going to make wine every year. And we're going to pass this down, and haven't made wine since 2021.
I don't think you lied. I think you just got busy. It's it's a process. It's just this takes forever when we can just buy it and then put our own labels on it. You could go to a place and be like, do you have a crop of wine? And then you just buy it and you label it yourself. Because sometimes you just have extra, Well,
I think the problem is that a lot of people back in the day would make their own wine because maybe they didn't have immediate access to the deliciously bottled wine that comes from Napa and only costs $12.
Yeah.
I loved the process of making the wine and learning about it and having my dad teach me and spending time with my dad. That was what was important to me. The wine, not so great.
That's it's fun. How you can go and buy a crop of wine. If your favorite person and or radio station makes a beer, they didn't make the beer. The beer was already being brewed. And then they're just do you have an extra thing? And then they put their name on it. Sorry to break the magic. I mean, it's good for that. It's a good marketing tool. But what I'm saying is the beer already existed. And they're let's figure it out.
So my follow-up question is, when are we going to have our own beer?
What, this beer for us? I don't know if I know enough people. There's a new brewery. There's so many breweries in Phoenixville. So many breweries. There's a new one that's
mayonnaise malt.
That sound there. Oh, wait, speaking of mayonnaise, there's Hellman's is doing a mayonnaise perfume or cologne with Will Levis, who's a quarterback for the Titans, because I think it was a joke at first. He said he put mayo in his coffee, and then it obviously took the internet by storm. So now he's just capitalizing on it because he's pretty mid quarterback, but if he can make money another way, that's good. Be a backup for 20 years in the NFL and have like gimmicky crap.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of that. Okay, so Annie Ann's has a cologne as well, right?
Yep. You can smell like a pretzel.
That's good. I didn't know that Annie Ann started in Downingtown.
It did?
Yes.
I didn't know that either.
The lady was from Lancaster, and then she was like supporting, I guess, her husband's farming, or it was something like that. So she opened a farm stand, and it started in Lancaster. Or no, it started in Downingtown. Here's what I'm thinking. There's Annie Ann's everywhere here. Do people in other parts of the country, did they not grow up with the full Annie Ann's experience? I thought that they just owned the mall. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But
like,
you're saying there's probably malls like somewhere
that don't have one. How do you let me see if I can do Annie Ann's locations. Because now I'm wondering if people grew up differently.
There's got to be states that doesn't exist.
Store locator. Okay. Because I'm super. All right. Oh, wait. I don't know, though. Now, let's see what state has the most. It's Pennsylvania. There is, I kid you not, 127 Annie Ann's in Pennsylvania.
I had no idea.
Florida, 111. Ohio is 64. So it is. Virginia has 57. So it's kind of like concentrated here. New York has 111. Does anyone have one? North Dakota has one. South Dakota has one. Vermont has one. But I feel like Vermont makes their own pretzels. Alaska has one. I think they're in every state. I think there's an Annie Ann in every state.
Probably at this point because it's been so long that they've been around. But if you think about it, there at a time, there was a state that didn't have one. And those states that only have one, I mean, how often do people on the opposite side of the state actually travel? They probably don't travel for Annie Ann's.
I don't know, though, because it's such a unique pretzel where it's just covered in butter.
We know that, though.
This is true.
But the people on the other side of North Dakota who've never been, they don't know that.
Now I'm like in my travels, I will notice them more because they're in random places. I don't know if they're standalone ones. I mean, maybe like rest stops. I don't really count those, but I just everybody didn't grow up the same Annie Ann's experience that we did because they're everywhere here. They're like every mile.
Would you wear the Annie Ann's cologne? Would you buy it?
Probably. It's like
only $25.
It's like, but if it's salty and buttery, that's kind of like men's cologne. You know what I mean? Like those sniffs come through.
Yeah, but you're missing the musk.
Let me see. Do they have it on their? It's on their website. I was trying to see if I could buy it on their website. Smell. Here it is. Learn more. Ode to Pretzel. Download the app. You have to. It's called Knead, which I think is amazing.
Right, like kneading dough.
Knead. There we go. Yeah. I love it. This is good. So we have two colognes, mayonnaise and Annie Ann's, and apparently everybody didn't grow up the same way we did with buttery pretzels every 2 miles. It blew my mind. Did you ever work for your family? I thought about this the other day.
No, but I worked for friends of the family.
Okay, that kind of like my parents.
Think is worse.
Yeah, like my parents owned a brewery, so I worked for them, which was fine. Mm-hmm. I mean, I worked in a kitchen late when I was 13, but I learned how to cook. I just don't know. I don't know many people who actually worked for their family.
No, there weren't many people in my family that had an opportunity for me to work for them.
Yeah.
But so like my mom's friends growing up, their family owned the hotel that we would stay at in North Wildwood. Mm-hmm. So we would stay there every summer. And then as we got older and all the kids I became friends with would go off to college at the end of the year, there was no one to scoop ice cream. There was no one to be the lifeguard. So I started a couple nights I would scoop ice cream. I was the off-season lifeguard. And I think when I think it's worse to work for friends of the family versus your family, because I think your family will let you get away with a lot more.
Yeah.
But your friends of the family, you don't want to screw them over because, that's a bad reflection on your family.
I don't know if you can be more honest with your family or friends of the family. Probably friends of the family. No, with family. because you kind of have to keep up appearances, like with friends of the family. If that makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah. So I had to be like on point. I had to be on time all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I had to make sure the job was done well and like make sure again the job was done well. Like, because I
Yeah.
didn't want to disappoint them and then have them be like, oh, we never should have hired Trisha's daughter.
That's like family businesses need like other people. Like it shouldn't just be one big family in one room making decisions for the whole company. But like that's just my opinion. Oh, I have 2 violation things that I want to put by you to see if these are like wrong. Okay. I went to Zach Bryan on. I gotta let the dog out. Hold up. She's being a pain in my neck.
We'll just briefly pause while
Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna open the door. It's just gonna come right back in.
Wait, because I paused the recording, so now you can resume.
Okay. I went to Zach Bryan. They told me to post on XTU's social media page, and like I don't do videos of concerts, so I was forced to, but I only posted 4.
Yeah.
And I held the phone next to my head, so I wasn't watching through my camera. The videos were still fine. I had to edit the Bruce Springsteen one because I was cursing so much. So I was like, no effing way. Okay, so I had this chat with my buddy because I went to his tailgate, and he was playing Zach Bryan before the show. And I said, no, you got to listen to other music. You can't listen to the artist before you see the artist. Like at the tailgate. I don't know if I'm into that.
Okay, so I'm torn on this one because I've always been the kind of person who agreed with the notion that you don't listen to the artist on the way to the concert.
On the way, I think is different because you're like in the car and you're in your element. But at a tailgate, you need a little variety. You know what I mean?
I could agree with that. I mean, but most recently, I've gone to some pretty epic concerts like Aerosmith, Rolling Stones.
Well, you were the last one to ever see Aerosmith,
right?
Because they just quit.
Yeah. So
after
like
rescheduling.
I knew that these were going to be people that, like memories that were going to live in my brain forever. So I was like super stoked.
Okay.
As opposed to like just regular stoked. So
next level.
We did listen to that respective artist before the concert, like on the way, sitting in the back of the car, like having a seltzer before we walked in. Like we were listening pretty much the whole time. And I've never done that before. I feel like there are exceptions to the rule.
Yeah, because like we'll probably see Zach Bryan again. Aerosmith, we kind of knew it was like
right.
And then let me tell you, they played Philly, they postponed, they rescheduled Philly, and then they quit.
And then they were done.
The other one is if there's free cake at work, removing the icing is weird. Like just
who removes the icing?
A lot of people take the icing off of things. If you don't like icing, I don't know if you like cake.
I don't think it's that they don't like icing. I think it's that they're like, I don't really consume that much sugar on a regular basis. So let me scrape off this extra icing.
Yeah.
You're
so
eating cake.
Spoiler, pound cake has a pound of sugar. So like you're eating sugar.
And butter.
At this point, just go all in.
Yeah. I mean, what's the diff? I don't know.
All right. Those are my 2 things that I had for.
I don't love when I see people in a workspace trying to like portray the idea that they are healthy or that they make healthy choices when you're partaking in the free food at work. Like, let's just call it like it is. Like, this is free. You're hungry. It might be a guilty pleasure, but you're going to eat it. So like, don't act like you don't.
Like Joan, I've seen it put 14 Cosmos away to work happy hour. Like, don't. That's cake in a glass. It's all juice. And they're usually sugared up. The pineapple juice is like not pure pineapple juice. It's got sugar. Isn't it pineapple cranberry Cosmo? Yeah.
Cosmo is just cranberry.
No, there's something else in it. There's something.
Vodka, triple sec, cranberry, lime juice.
Oh, my sister started bartending for the first time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And at a country bar. And she has quickly learned, like we have both learned, you have to fake being happy.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's like, I had to cut people off. But there's a guy who, if he tells her a dirty joke, he gives her $5. So she just lets him rip them off the whole time. And I was like, that's $5 per joke. I was like, you have a sugar daddy.
To tell them.
You have a sugar daddy at the bar.
Wow.
That's what I was like, Carson, you just got to fake it, man. So
have you visited her yet?
No, I haven't. She did tell me that this kid came in without his ID, but like she carded him before, but he was like very intoxicated, so she just started cutting non-alcoholic Coronas with water, and then he came back and like begged her for her forgiveness a week later. And I was like, "You did the right thing."
Oh my God.
Right thing.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, she's like, I cut people off, and then people at noon are weird. I'm like, those are my people.
Oh man. You've got a built-in bartender friend now that your sister's bartending. I mean, you've got it made. If my sister bartended near me, I would be at her bar all the time.
It's like 40 minutes away, so I can't like Uber. And it's also like not in the town. It's out on the outskirts.
Okay, fair enough.
But they have line dancing and stuff, and that's another thing that like I go, they don't drink, and she goes, no, they tip me for soda though. So I said, all right, at least you're making money. You know what I mean?
That's nice.
Yeah. Because usually the line dancers don't tip. Also,
they know they're not contributing to your well, so they're like,
yeah, like give me, you know, I'm in here, I'm hustling, giving you Sprites, give me a couple bucks. You know what I mean?
We're not ringing up your register, so hey, at least that's kind of nice.
Just keep the money. Don't ring the sodas in. To me, the sodas are just giveaways. Unless they're mixed, obviously, then you got to charge.
You got to at least like put the money from the first one in the register.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's like free refills.
$5 all you can drink soft drinks, which is.
And that's probably why I got fired from my last bartending job.
Just giving them away. I feel like I go to some bars, and if they have canned beer, they're basically giveaways because it's super cheap to buy canned beer. So like throw you know, I'm not going to say specific bars, but bars that we've both been to. I feel like they're just like giveaways, you know, they keep you coming back. Couple free canned Miller Lights because they're cheap. They're significantly cheaper than like kegs and stuff.
It's true, but they're not free.
Well, you just got to make friends
with the right people.
Yeah. Just be nice and tip well, and you'll get free drinks. And at the end of the day, you tip so well that nothing was free, but you've made help somebody pay their bills. And that's how you handle a bar situation as a regular.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So now we both have connections to the Bachelor Nation.
You met somebody.
Yeah. How you like grew up with Joey, who was on Bachelor last season.
The show, they film it down the street. Well, they filmed it down the street.
Yeah. So Jacob and I were out in Nashville this weekend, and we were on a rooftop bar, and this guy like walks kind of like through the room towards the bathroom. And I was like, he looks like, and then I caught him on his way back to the rooftop from the bathroom. And I was like, oh yeah, that is definitely, it was Jonathan from this season. So like,
NDA is tight.
I was in the middle of watching his episode, and then I see him on the rooftop in Nashville. So I tell Jacob, like, of course he was a little embarrassed because, you know, he's like the kind of guy who like probably wouldn't bother anybody in public, but I'm like, no, I'm going to go over and I'm going to say hi. I need to see, first of all, confirm if this is actually the dude. And then I'm going to go say hi because here's what, I'm on the radio here. And if I can get him on the radio, that's like bonus points all around.
Is that your first organic meeting of somebody down there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so he was really nice. And we, you know, hopefully I can have him on. We're talking about having him on, but he was like really cool about it. I can't confirm whether or not he is
eliminated.
If he's eliminated or if he lasts through the end. He didn't really allude to anything. Like he did a pretty good job of like keeping that secret.
Mm-hmm.
But he also did say, well, I'm here.
Yeah, but they filmed that like 9 months ago.
Right, exactly. So it could like anything could happen. But
I think my first organic, well, obviously for work down there, you meet the people. She's jumping on the door. She can wait. Dad and I were down for the Eagles game, and we just talked to this guy who was next to us for like an hour. They're like, you know, what do you do? He's like, I'm a musician, which, you know, And then we were just like 3/4 of the way through. We're just like, where are you like performing? And he's like, oh, I'm in Silverchair. I was like, this is sick. So that was it. That was like our first. He gave me a pick. I still have it. And then the guy on stage wrote Kenny Chesney's song. So I was like, I thought he was BSing me. And then like the next album I was like, oh no, he's free of the song. So yeah, but that was our first like organic one. It's always somebody random too. It's never.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. But he gave me a pick, and then I think we had deep fried pickles together. So
nice.
Never talked to him afterwards. Honestly, if I saw him again, I probably wouldn't recognize him.
Yeah.
But he confirmed it. I put it on my phone. He was Ted from Silverchair. I don't remember his name. I'm like, why are you here at this random bar? But
what are you doing here?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm like trying to think of. Oh no, I have one more organic one. George Lynch, who played for the Sixers. We saw him at FAO Shorts. And me and my buddy were like, oh, let's go say hi. And then we were at like 9. And then he told us to F off. So that was cool.
Oh, my God.
I'm letting her in. Hold on. It was something.
The dog has interrupted our podcast twice. Now, Murph is officially a cast member.
She won't settle. I'm like, we just did a walk. She took a big poop. Now she finally laid down. It's such all the time. It's
Deanna, Justin, and sometimes Murph.
Murph. You know Andy's dog? You know what the name of the dog is from XTU? His name's Bob Ross.
Stop.
Well, so they rescued him. He's a standard poodle, and his hair's so big that, like the shelters give him like unique names. So they just kept it. So they call him by the full name, which I respect.
I love that.
They don't say Bob. They're like Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
That's the whole thing.
That's hilarious.
He was in the studio with us a couple weeks ago. He's a very nice dog. It's like sometimes poodles, like they say, can be mean. This is the nicest dog I've ever met.
Aww.
So yeah,
Bob Ross.
I didn't know why the name was that. I thought they did it, but they just kept the shelter name, which is hilarious to me. Which the shelter names are always good.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, all right. I think more people should. Like, we don't need any more dogs named like Bella. Like, just keep the dog name from the shelter.
Right.
Know? Still haven't met a dog named after me, though. Still.
We kept our cats' names. They were named in the shelter, and we kept them.
What were the names?
Ivan and Leota.
I thought, like those seem like on par with what names you would give them, though.
I honestly, I'm not creative when it comes to cat names. I was older.
Dog name's creative.
I was older when we got Ivan. He was my 30th birthday present. So if I had my choice, I probably would have named him Vetter.
That's kind of funny because Eddie Vedder does remind me of a cat.
Because I told Jacob if we ever had a son, I wanted to name him Vetter, and he said absolutely not. And so we're not having kids.
So I'm with Jacob there. So I'm more than 100%, maybe 200%, because we just don't do that. Because here is what happens when you do that. Eventually, bad stuff. Maybe not for Eddie, but like a lot of celebrities, some like bad stuff comes up, and then your kid's stuck with like a name. Yeah. Like I'm sure people name their kid OJ. That's not good. Like,
gosh, yeah. I can't see anything bad coming up for Eddie Vedder.
No, but like there's exceptions, but I would say most don't do it, man. Just
like our friends had 2 cats named Stevie Nicks and David Lee Roth.
That's fine, but they're cats though. You can change their names whenever.
Right, but like Stevie Nicks and David Lee Roth, like they weren't going to do anything. No dirt was going to get dug up on them.
David Lee's a little.
Did you just meow?
No, but I was just saying. But they're also cats. Like they have multiple names. Like don't name your name your kid OJ. You know. Like I'm trying to think of like new celebrities. I don't know. Just don't name your kid OJ. Basically, that's because he was
number one.
He was a really good running back, and then a lot of stuff happened. And if you don't know about it, which you might not, Google it.
Oh boy,
that's the risk you run, though, if you name your kid after a celebrity.
It's true.
And then like they have to. Then here's the thing. Then they go to school. And they're like 13, and then something happens, like OJ. And then their kids are making fun of them. Like, that's a whole thing. Right? See? The people don't think about this.
That's true.
I have.
Yeah, it could go south real quick.
Yeah, don't meet your heroes and don't name your kids after your heroes. That's basically what it is. Hold up. Speaking of heroes, did you watch the NSYNC Backstreet Boys documentary?
Not yet.
It's nuts. I was like, this is the I knew none of this.
Like a night off.
It's like 3 hours. It's 3 hours.
I need a night off to watch it. Yeah. Because during the day, I don't want to be inside unless it's like a super disgusting rainy day. I'll wait for a rainy day or a night off.
There's one cameo in it that was just like it's Hulk Hogan. I was like, how the hell is he? It's so funny. It is maybe the most insane thing. I knew the guy Lou Pearlman, who created them, was like in it for the money. And like he launched a lot of careers. Like I can't really take that away. But the backstory is so much. Like I feel bad for these guys. Then you got Chris Kirkpatrick. The best teaser for the whole show is Chris Kirkpatrick goes, "My whole life I didn't know that 'Get Your Ass Kicked' rhymed with my name." And then Eminem appeared. I'm like, oh man. See? That's why you have to consider names.
Oh my gosh.
Will Eminem roast your child's name? Screw the yelling the name across the schoolyard trick. You gotta vet these names.
Gotta see what it rhymes with.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make any more jokes off that because that'll get me in trouble.
That's okay because we should probably cut this one off at 32 minutes.
That's fine. 32. That's a good commute.
Yeah.
I'm going to Wildwood this weekend. And I can't wait to see the fruit truck guy.
I'm coming home this weekend. Very excited.
Again?
Yeah.
Did you forget? Did you forget stuff? Can you fly back with it?
No, I didn't. I mean, I didn't forget stuff. I purposely only took what I needed.
Yeah.
Immediately. But I also can't live more than 2 weeks without seeing my husband. So
so that's usually a good thing. I don't know if people know this, but that's kind of why you get married to somebody.
Yeah. If we can make a regular schedule here where I'm coming home every other week and he's coming out every other week, then we'll always see each other and it's fine.
Did you find cheap flights yet?
Yeah, I've been taking Spirit. So
my friend took Spirit and they boarded the plane for Nashville and then everybody was going to Asheville. So they had to unboard twice. So just be aware. If they start checking manually, switch your flight.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was insane. Just to walk because they're kind of near each other and they sound alike. That's another tip for people. If you fly Spirit, don't fly to a town that has a rhyming name with a one near it.
Oh my gosh.
I gave you a nightmare, a new nightmare.
Yeah, now I'm gonna have to be super careful.
Well, they're cheap.
Right.
You get what you pay for, right? And we accept that.
Yeah, that's true. You get what you pay for. Yeah.
Okay. That's
all right. Well, that's all I've got.
I'm going to tell you something when we hang up here.
Okay.
Well, I can't say it here.
Time. Yeah, this is behind the scenes. We can't put this on.
No. It's good though.
Well, until next time. Bye, mayonnaise.
Bye.